Hey everyone, this is what I plan to read in the next 3 months, April, May and June. I've gone quite fantasy heavy for these 3 months. Let's start off with Legend by David Gemmell. I have actually read this and I gave it 5 stars, but it was quite a while ago and I would like to read the entire series. So I'm giving myself a refresher and this will be the first book that I read. In fact, I've actually started it. And I'm already enjoying it. And you can't get more fantasy than a guy holding a sword aloft. Next up, Shadow of a Dark Queen by Raymond E. Feist. This is the first book in the Serpentwar saga, and it's been way too long since I read a Feist. But this is the next series I'm up to. I think this is, wait a second, there's 3, 2... Yeah, so yes, I've read the 8 books up to this point. This is book 9, if you count the Empire trilogy, which I think most people do. Of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Anyway, yeah, so this is the next one. Really looking forward to this. People think this is one of the high points in the whole Riftwar cycle. Next up, Phantastes by George MacDonald. This was written in 1858. It's like one of the first fantasy novels written, and this had a huge influence on C.S. Lewis. It's only 200 pages. Ed over at Dutch Greybeard is also going to be reading this. Hi, Ed. And it's going to be very interesting to compare notes with him on this book. Next up is Mattimeo by Jacques. This is part of the Redwall series. I have read the first 2 and I have mixed feelings about this series. I kind of think that they should be a series I enjoyed, but I only gave the first 2 3 stars. They seem a little bit long. This itself is 450 pages. If I only give this one 3 stars after I read it, I think I'll have to question whether I should continue with the series. I mean, they're fine reads, but anyway, I'm looking forward to this one because apparently the first one, he was still developing his ideas and hopefully they improve. I'm sounding a bit negative, but actually I am looking forward to reading this. Next up, How to Train Your Dragon by Cressida Cowell. Now, my son actually has finally got this whole series. I have actually read this one many, many years ago, but I thought, okay, I'm just going to read them all. They're quite short. Well, they get longer as they go along, but, you know, it's just a light, fun read, so looking forward to that. That's all the fantasy out of the way. Now, how about some science fiction? Well, 2061 by Arthur C. Clarke. I have read 2001 and 2010. So this is just the continuation in this series. The first book was great. If you've only ever seen the movie, which is just like so weird at the end, you actually find out what happens in the book that kind of makes it make sense. Anyway, 2010 was quite different and really enjoyable. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does in this one. I'm continuing my Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, so this is the 4th book, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish by Douglas Adams. And I'm sure I've read this before, but it was a long time ago, so I'm looking forward to reacquainting myself with this. And last of the science fiction, Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. Now, I read recently Brave New World and 1984, and this is kind of in that same dystopian genre, maybe the forgotten third one in that classic dystopian set of books. Totally different writer, of course. I love those other 2, so it's going to be interesting to see what this one's like. And last but not least, Bill Bryson's Notes from a Small Island. I recently got a present of the kind of sequel to this, so I found this in a secondhand bookshop and snapped it up, and I have read the first 2 chapters and he is a very funny writer. So I'm looking forward to continuing with this book. That's everything I've got on the plate for the next 3 months. By my reckoning, I actually may have some more pages spare, so hopefully I'll get some extra little books in there on the side. Let me know what you're reading these 3 months. Are you reading any of these? Have you read these? What did you think of them? And yeah. Thanks for leaving your comments and subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.